Welcome to a calisthenics video at Finsbury Park. On this day I was training with Kevin, as you can see, putting on the weighted vest, and I am starting with press ups. So normally when I train at Finsbury Park I end with press ups. They are a movement that I'm quite comfortable with. Pushing movements. I find pulling movements harder, so your pull ups, your chin ups, your inverted rows, whereas I find dips and press ups easier. So I thought I'd mix up the order of my routine today. So I started with 30 press ups and then I went into the elevated inverted rows. I was doing body weight for the first round, so thought I'd go for some extra reps compared to the weighted vest set that I'm gonna go into for the second set. Here I go into 20 elevated inverted rows, and then after the elevated inverted rows I go into 20 dips. Again, quite comfortable with my body weight as we close this year out. Do want to make a habit, which I have this year, of training with additional weight when I can. I do that via a weighted vest, which is 10 kg. I do need to start doing more reps with 15 kg plus, or as I've done in the past, carry my belt with me and attaching kettlebells to the belt to make things harder. So here, pulls, go for 20 pulls. This was hard. Normally I'd start with pulls because they're a harder movement, and I can get 20 unbroken without the long pauses, but because it was the second to last part of the set, it was a struggle after 15 reps, but I just broke it down but remained on the bar. Take pride in trying to keep a hold of the bar and not letting go and taking rest, but always take rest if you need to. And also I will have the full workout in the description with the numbers of reps. If you want to alter it and make it less reps, completely up to you. After these 20 pulls, I end the first set with some weighted squats. So trying to focus on doing leg movements, and we're fortunate at Finsbury Park because you do have access to weights. Weights go up to 15 kg dumbbell wise, so I've got a pair of 15 kg dumbbells here, and I'm just doing 10 weighted squats off of this. Kevin's doing it with the 10 kg vest and 10 kgs. This is hard as well, to be honest. I need to do a lot more strengthening for my legs because I'm aiming to get faster, so I need to build up my quads. I also need to build up my hamstrings, and that's a weak area for me. My hamstrings need a lot of work. So that's round one out the way. For the second round I take the 10 kg weighted vest, and as you'll see, compared to the first round, I've gone for the higher elevated press ups, so these are harder, and I reduced the reps from 30 to 20 reps. That was still hard because you've got the weighted vest. It does restrict your movement though, because the vest touches the floor before you can really get as low as you would without the vest on, but nevertheless still a hard movement. I then go into the elevated inverted rows, so repeat of what I've done in the first set. All I'm doing is lowering the reps because I'm doing the movements with an additional 10 kg. So here I do 15 elevated inverted rows, and you'll see I start to slow down and break it up, but abstain from letting go of the actual bar. So that's where the grind happens. After the elevated inverted rows, I go into 15 dips with the vest. The vest weighs 10 kg, but from when I get access to my weighted vest again, I do want to start training more often with 20 kg. I weigh 70 kg, so consider me with the vest at 80. I would like to be repping for 90 kg, that would be good. And then here we go for 10 pull-ups. This was hard. This was very hard. If I'm fresh, I can do 20 pulls with the 10 kg vest, but after doing that whole round, 10 was a struggle. And that's halfway through the workout. So one body weight set, one weighted set, and I'm halfway through. So now we go into the third round, and now I'm back to body weight. And in terms of press ups, I've decided to go for 10 diamond press ups, 10 normal press ups, and 10 wide press ups. I'm also on a lower elevation, right? So it's easier than the second round where I was on a higher elevation, which Kevin's on now, with an additional 10 kg vest on. So press ups, as I said, I find quite easy. I'm quite comfortable with press ups. Here is obviously hard because I've just done 20, and then you're going into a wider position to do the last 10. After those, I go for the elevated inverted rows with body weight. So I go for 15 reps, which is just a repeat really of the second set number wise, but it felt a lot easier because I'm doing it without the vest on. So yeah, for me, just adding little bits and pieces and trying to change up the workout so that my body, they say after 4 to 6 weeks your body kind of becomes accustomed to a specific workout if you're still doing the same thing. So any way that I can vary and shock the body is what I'm working towards, whether that's adding in walking lunges, adding in weighted squats, changing the order that I do the different exercises in, just to keep things exciting and challenging. So yeah, this was a lot more challenging than the order that we normally do our routine in. After those 15 dips, I go for after those 20 dips, I go for 15 chin-ups. Chin-ups here felt easy, quite comfortable with my body weight as I've said, and chin-ups I find easier than pull-ups. And that is our third round. And then we've got the weighted squat. So again, 15 kg, pair of 15 kgs, and just going for 10 squats, building up the quads. And we then enter our fourth and final round for the day. It was a headache that I put the vest for the last set. I like ending my last set without the vest because then it feels a lot easier, but nevertheless, always up for a challenge. I keep bringing my skipping rope, so if you can see that red rope in between me and Kevin, the amount of times I take that skipping rope out and don't even skip with it, but I need to get back on it. So here I've gone for 5 diamond press ups with a weighted vest, and then I've gone for 5 normal press ups, and then I've gone for 5 wide press ups. So 15 in total, just 3 different ranges in terms of how close you are. After the press ups, back into the elevated inverted rows, and I go for 15 reps of this also. This was hard. This is always the hardest because, well, it's not as hard as it would normally be. Normally I do a pull motion, then a push motion, then this is the third motion, which is a pull again. So you're doing pull with the gap of 1 push. It's always quite difficult for the inverted rows, especially if they're elevated. If I'm at Langdon I can do them a lot lower, but here they are quite intense. Then I go for 15 dips with a weighted vest, and I need to get that up to 20 really. I want to try and work my way up to 20 dips because in previous times I was able to do 20 dips with a 20 kg vest. So here I'm doing half the weight and 5 less reps. And then I go into chin-ups to finish, and I go for 15 chin-ups. And then for the last movement of this session, we go for weighted squats. And because I've got the 10 kg vest on, I no longer do the weighted squats with a 15 kg. I either pick up a 12.5 or a 10. Knowing me, I probably picked up the 10 because it's the last round, and I'm thinking, nah, let me just get this out of the way. So yeah, just ending there with some weighted squats. And if you want to make this more intense with the weighted squats, you can add an overhead press. As you come into that standing position, you can actually add an overhead press to make it even more intense. But nevertheless, great session. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you can repeat this or alter it rep wise or weight wise. But regardless, hope you've enjoyed. Take care.
That's all, folks.